Edinburgh is a city steeped in stories, from fascinating folklore to ancient myth. Just take a walk around the city and you'll find an abundance of unicorns adorning the architecture. You'll not be short of ghost stories either. And in this quiet graveyard, you'll discover the inspiration for Lord Voldemort and Professor McGonagall. There's the monument to the heartwarming story of Greyfriars Bobby, who stood guard at his owner's grave for 14 years after his death, or the lone piper who haunts the Royal Mile. And our very own volcano has links to the dragons and the knights of King Arthur. Edinburgh, the story never ends. Come find the magic. Edinburgh is the UK's greenest city. Not that we want to make everyone green with envy. There's a space here for everyone, from high escapes to cosy glens, from secret gardens to old railway paths. There's beaches to comb and parks to play in, hills to climb and adventures to begin. Discover panoramic city views as you climb Edinburgh's extinct volcano. Edinburgh's a city for walkers, hikers, bikers, runners, thinkers, ramblers. Discover a new path today. Edinburgh, the story never ends. Edinburgh is a city shaped by water. You can follow the waters from the Pentland Hills right through the city to the Firth of Forth. There's beaches and bridges and boats to see. There's stories to find at the Roman settlement and the old bunker on Cramond Island. Just follow the water and you'll find a story. Edinburgh, the story never ends.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Royal Commonwealth Pool here in the heart of Edinburgh. We are here for day one of action in the Edinburgh International Swim Meet 2023. So lots to look forward to here as we welcome the swimmers for the first of the events that we're going to see this morning. There is the programme. 1500 freestyle will start us off, and that will be followed by the women's 100 metres backstroke. Pretty good field we're going to see all the way through this session this morning. 100 backstroke for women especially, some great Olympians in there, Olympic medalists all the way through these heats. 100 backstroke for men follows that up as well, some big names in that one too. 200 metres butterfly for women is the next event. 200 metres freestyle, Olympic champion Tom Dean goes in that one, and Duncan Scott, his big rival, also goes there in one of the heats for those 200 free for men. Huge quality in that one. Back to the sprints. And we have the women's 50 metres freestyle following that one up. And again, Anna Hopkin, Olympic gold medalist in the relay, making her way for that 50 freestyle. 50 metres butterfly for men should be quick fire. We have the 400 freestyle for women, 200 metres breaststroke for men, which again, we will see likes of James Wilby in that one. Commonwealth champion, of course, back in the Gold Coast in 2018. Commonwealth champion again in the 100 in Birmingham Commonwealth Games last year. Women's 100 breaststroke sees some informed swimmers take the start. 200 metres individual medley for men will complete the session. So busy time for the next, 3 hours or so. And we get into the action almost straight away with this first race. And it's the 1500 metres freestyle. 2 heats in this one, but only 1 heat will be taking place in this first session this morning. The fastest heat will take place in the final session tonight. And that is the aim for all the swimmers in the heats to follow this 1500, trying to make the top 8 positions to try to make it into one of the finals. We've got an A final, a B final, and a junior final in the final session, which will take place every evening, and that is the initial goal for some of these swimmers. Of course, it's pretty early in the short course, the long course season. We're at the end of the short course season now. We're into the long course season. We've had a couple of long course meets over the past couple of weeks. So you have the British Universities Championships a couple of weeks ago, where we saw some great performances there, and people looking good for the season to follow. And we'll see some of these Bucks champions taking the start. Big lineup of countries here at this Edinburgh International. It seems to get more and more countries every year it takes place. Of course, it was a big event back in the 80s and early 90s. Had a little bit of a holiday. Didn't take place for a number of years, and then it was resurrected probably, I don't know, maybe about a decade ago now. And since then it's attracted some of the biggest names in world swimming, and this year is no exception at all. The likes of Adam Peaty due to take the start as well in the breaststroke events. I'm not sure if Adam's on the programme this morning. Duncan Scott also in the water. I've seen Duncan around the poolside already this morning, so he is definitely around and taking the start. And again, some great swimmers from other countries as well. Kylie Mass, the Canadian Olympic medalist, due to take part in the 100 backstroke. Just the event after this 1500 freestyle. And I'll try and keep you up to speed on all these top swimmers as we go through. But we're now on to the first event, and that is the 1500 metres freestyle for men. First heat, the only heat that we'll see in this morning's session. And the lineup for this one, James Boddy from Geary. He'll go in lane 1. As you're looking at this on the screen, lane 1 is closest to you, right at the bottom of the picture, and lane 8 right at the top. So lane 1, James Boddy from Geary. Lane 2, Joshua Robinson from Derwentside. Lane 3, Alexander Sargent from Millfield. Lane 4, right in the bottom of those two yellow marked lanes. And that's Scott Fleming from East Kilbride. He has the fastest entry time, 16:37.80. Ben McLaughlin from Geary goes in lane number 5. Jack Simpson from East Kilbride in lane number 6. Fraser Tetlow from Geary in 7. And Thomas Swales right up at the top there from Nova Centurion. He goes in lane number 8. The youngest in the field, just 15 years of age, Thomas Swales. Alexander Sargent going pretty well, the oldest in the field. So he's gone out under the 1 minute mark, 59.80. We'll just keep a little bit of a track on what kind of times that the swimmers might do as they progress through this 1500. We'll keep an eye on the gaps that are forming between them. Big gap at the moment, Alexander Sargent, wow. 4 second advantage over a group of 3. But it's very, very early stages. You see as we get up to the top end, you see the lane markers for the officials who will signify how many lengths that the swimmers have to still complete. Now, Alexander Sargent has gone out pretty well indeed. Millfield swimmer. Went down to Millfield actually, maybe where the UK school games were held in Millfield a few years back. Great facilities there, and they produced some top swimmers over the years. There's the lane markers there. 25 lengths to go of this 50-metre pool as they hit that top end. Sargent increasing that gap there, 7 seconds now the gap between him and the chasing pack, and it looks like Scott Fleming in 2nd position, Jack Simpson in 3rd, and Ben McLaughlin in 4th. That's that group of 3 you can see just in the middle of the screen. So 3:07.96. We're talking about, well, just under the 105 range there. So we'll keep an eye and see what that means as we progress through. Stretching the lead over the others. This is really good swimming from Alexander Sargent. It does look like in 2nd position. Looks like Ben McLaughlin. Sargent listed with entry time of 16:47, but he's well inside that. He's gone over there in 4:11.97, so he's kind of settled into, that's almost a 104 there, so it's almost exactly 104 for that one. 400 metres gone. This is pretty good stuff there from Alexander Sargent. Really, really stretching his lead away. This is incredible performance from him there. This, of course, is the second of the 2 heats. The first heat, well, the fastest heat, I should say, will take place in the final session, which happens tonight. to actually make it into that top 8, you would have had to go on something around about the 16:30. Alexander Sargent, he goes over the 1/3 mark. He's gone over in 15:15, so if you kind of triple that up, that's quite an easy maths there. So that's 15:45, 15:46-ish. He was a little bit faster on that first 100. Is around about 4 or 5 seconds faster. So we're talking somewhere around about the 16-minute mark here, or thereabouts. He's actually just picking up the pace very well indeed, stretching that lead over the chasing pack. Second place, Ben McLaughlin, Scott Fleming, in 6:06. So he has a lead of around about 20 seconds, almost 20 seconds from Scott Fleming. He's gone under there, 6:20.07. And he's kind of about 105 there again, so he's still kind of 16-minute mark there. Not really using the legs at all. Underfield come into play a little bit later on here. He's into the 700 mark as he goes down to bottom end here for the 700 metre mark. It's almost a length ahead of anyone in the pool here. Talking about probably about 35 metres is the advantage over Scott Fleming, Jack Simpson. Third, Ben McLaughlin in fourth. Just that group of 3 in the centre of the pool. There are 4 swimmers on the outside, the best of them. Looks like it's Fraser Titlow. In fact, James Body actually in lane number 1. And Joshua Robinson in lane number 2. They're having a little bit of a tussle. You see them going through the screen there. Right at the top, Fraser Titlow and Thomas Swales as well. Thomas Swales with entry time of 17:31. So it's the halfway point for Alexander Sargent. Goes through in at 7:56.10. So again, 16 minutes is a pretty good target here. He's looking good for that 16-minute mark. You see the final 4 swimmers just with that little bit of a tussle that they're having. So 8:28.09. That's at the 800 metre mark. So he's into the second half. The Sargent goes up to the 850. Scott Fleming still in second position. 8:57 at that bottom end, so about a 30-second advantage that Sargent has over him. So Sargent going over at the 900 mark, 9:31.12. He's increased the pace very slightly as he goes into the second half of this one. 900. So definitely 16 minutes very much on the cards now if you can keep this pace going. We'll see what the gap is. Now Scott Gibson goes through and the lead just extending again. So Alexander Sargent going at the very nice pace here. He's pulling away from Scott Fleming after every length. It's a good tussle here for third between Ben McLaughlin and Jack Simpson. Those two side by side. Alexander Sargent well in control of this one, 10:39.83. In fact, that's Scott Gibson's time. It's 10:35. I was going to say he's dropped a little bit there, but it's 10:35.71 for the leader. So he's still on that 104 range. He's beginning to catch the tail enders in this particular heat. He's already overtaken Thomas Swales. He's going to overtake the other two as well, Fraser Tetlow. And in the outside lane closest to us, James Bodie. So as he comes down to 1100 metres of this very first race of this 2023 Edinburgh International Swim Meet. He has an absolutely huge lead, Alexander Sargent, 11:39.06. Got the right time this time. Again, he's picked it up again, really, 103.3. So he's kind of at 103, 104 range, which is an excellent performance here from Sargent. He's going to be delighted with this swim as he goes past Joshua Robinson now. Sargent looking absolutely supreme here. Scott Fleming still in second place, 12:23. Sargent well ahead of the others as he goes over 12:43.51. Another 64 second. I wonder if he's going to catch everyone else in the field. Scott Fleming, probably the one that he might not get back to by the time this race is finished. He's only got 250 metres to go now, Alexander Sargent. Real good tussle there, you can see at the top of your picture. Between Ben McLaughlin and Jack Simpson, they've been side by side pretty much the whole way. That's the battle for third place in this particular heat. The leader at the moment is coming down to the 1300 metre mark in lane number 3. There's the second place man going the other way. That's Scott Fleming. Sargent goes over in 13:47.88. 4 second, 104 again. He's gone past the two having that private battle, which they have been for almost the whole race. Their entry times for McLaughlin and Simpson in 6:46 and 6:53 respectively. So 150 to go now for Alexander Sargent. I think it's going to be too much for him to catch Fleming and to have lapped the entire field. But it has been an incredible performance from Alexander Sargent. He'll come down to the 1400 metre mark. We'll take the bell in lane number 3, the welcome sound for the 1500 swimmers. .51. Moran. It's going to be well under the 16-minute mark, that's for sure. Going to be a great swim from Alexander Sargent. Had that entry time of 16:47. Going to be closer to 15:47. Scott Fleming coming up to take the bell. I think he's just about going to hold on. He's not going to be lapped by the winner of this one. And that was Alexander Sargent, who is going to the legs. A little bit of a spurt on for this last 100. He's just about pulling alongside Scott Fleming there. But here comes the first and second place swimmers. Fleming's still got 100 to go, but here comes Sargent now into the finish. There's going to be phenomenal time from Alexander Sargent to take it. The winning time is 14. In fact, clock's not going quite with us. 15:23 was his split at the top, I think. So it's somewhere around about it'll be around about the 15:50 mark, I think. As just at the vital moment, the electronics have failed us on the very last length. It was all going so well. You'll get Alexander Sargent's confirmation of that time. You've been delighted with a 14:51, but that was at the 14:50 mark. Here comes Scott Fleming. We'll keep an eye on his time here. Scott Fleming's entry time 16:37. So a nice finish there for Ben McLaughlin, who stretched away from Jack Simpson in the closing stages there. McLaughlin and Simpson were side by side the whole way through. We're not going to get the times for these finishers, unfortunately, but they will be published on the website. If you are watching at home, don't worry, the times will be available at some point. Please check them on the website if you want confirmation of that. Unfortunately, the electronics just letting us down in the closing stages of that one. It was almost those final 50 metres there for the winner. No doubt about who that was, Alexander Sargent. Great performance there at the front of the field. Massive improvement on the entry time that he submitted for this competition. 16:47. It's going to be around about 15:50 or so for Alexander Sargent. See, we're just having an eye out on the scoreboard here in the venue. As the next event is making their way out, and it's 100 metres backstroke for women. First of the 5 heats about to go. There's the warm-up pool there. You see the Duncan Scott in the near lane to us, just climbing out of the pool. Tom Dean, 1 lane up from him with the red cap. Tom Dean, the Olympic champion, 200 freestyle. Duncan Scott, the silver medalist. They've had great battles over the last couple of years. They reversed the positions, of course, the Commonwealth Games. And there's the lineup. We're not going to get the results, I don't think, of the 1500, but as I said, they will be on the competition website, so please check that for those official results of that one and only heat this morning of the 1500 freestyle. So hopefully we'll see the electronics get sorted out before we move on to this next event, so there might be a little bit of a delay. The shot you saw of the warm-up pool is just alongside the competition pool here in Edinburgh. It's almost just off your picture at the moment, off to the top right. That's where the competition pool is located here at Commonwealth Pool. And We have 7 swimmers taking the start here for this 100 backstroke first heat. First of 5. Last 3 heats will be cyclically seeded, so we'll see some of the fast swimmers take place in heats 3, 4 and 5. So we have Lucy Hitchin from Repton, closest to us in lane number 1. Sophie de Groot from Loughborough in 2. Drew Mackenzie, City of Glasgow in 3. Charlotte Prince Reina from University of Bath in 4. Heidi Wren from City of Glasgow in 5. Charlie Jones, second Loughborough Uni swimmer, goes in lane number 6. And Manon Domigion from Liga Aura in France. She goes in lane number 7, and she's doing well in the early stages. The French swimmer right up there at the top, but it does look like Drew Mackenzie has the edge here. Drew Mackenzie, City of Glasgow, with that entry time of 104.01. Domigon might just take this one. French swimmer right at the top, coming through strongly, and does take it in 103.98. Domigon inside the 104 mark, so that's faster than her entry times. You'd be delighted with that one. Drew Mackenzie in second, and Lucy Hitchin in third position. So the action taking place there in the outside lanes. Lucy Hitchin and Manon Domigion featuring in the top 3 despite being in those outside lanes. Here's the lineup for the second heat. Another swimmer from Ligue Aura in lane number 1. Another French swimmer, Laura Trompette. Olivia Butler from Edinburgh University in 2. Emily Grant from University of Aberdeen Performance goes in 3. Jasmine Eiley from University of Bath in 4. Cora Rooney from Ireland in 5. Falka Tind from Obenstatens of Denmark, regular visitors to this Edinburgh International meet. She goes in lane number 6. Tatiana Tostevin from Loughborough University in 7. And Lauren Bradley Holt from Stirling in lane number 8. So a nice start there in lane number 4, the bottom of those 2 yellow marked lanes. Jasmine Eiley from University of Bath. Eiley took part in the British University Championship just a couple of weeks ago, as many of these swimmers did. So it's a good indication of early season form, and Eiley was a finalist in that one, finishing in 6th position. Just has the edge over Emily Grant, I think. Also going well, Olivia Butler coming back in lane number 2. It's quite a close finish, and Trompette as well from Liga Aura, the French swimmer, doing well, getting herself into the top 3, into the top 2 in fact, just 1/100th ahead of Olivia Butler. Jasmine Eiley takes that one, 104.23. Outside her entry time. So just hearing from, we do have confirmed results now of the 1500. So 15:52 is winning time here from Alexander Sargent in that very first heat. So heat number 3 is first of the cyclically seeded heats here in the backstroke. Rachel Anderson from Loughborough University goes in lane number 1. Molly Garrett from City of Manchester Aquatic goes in lane number 2. Katie Shanahan from Stirling University in 3. Kura Toussaint from Netherlands in 4. Sabona Kubova from Czech Republic in 5. Yona Sasha from Edinburgh University in 6. Holly McGill from Hart Midlothian in lane number 7. And Matilda Muller goes for Hovenstadens in lane number 8. Again, top quality in this first of the seeded heats. Kira Toussaint, Olympic Games finalist in Tokyo, goes in lane number 3. She will be the favourite. Kubova going well from the Czech Republic. Placed in the European Championships, World Short Course Championships. It's a finalist. European Championships. Kubova is leading Kira Toussaint there. Katie Shanahan has had a good early season so far. British University's recording the 200 back. And 1, 2, 3 is Kubova, Toussaint and Shanahan again trying to make that top 8 positions to try and make their way through to the final, but nice swim there to take that 8 for Kubova. 1 minute, 0.81, just over the 1 minute mark there, and Toussaint and Shanahan both on the 101 range. 2 heats to go. Well, you're not going to get 3 swimmers qualifying from each of the heats to make it to that top 8, so it's going to be tough qualification. So heat number 4 on their way. Lucy Hope from Stirling University, closest to us in lane number 1. Lika Uda Lenferink from Netherlands in 2. Roos van Otterdijk from Belgium in 3. Kathleen Dawson, Stirling University in 4. Louise Hansen from Loughborough University goes in 5. Sophie Shaw from City of Manchester Aquatic goes in 6. Anaïs Podivin from Liga Aura goes in 7. And Emma Carrasco Cadence from Spain, the first of the Spanish swimmers that we have seen. Big contingent from Spain here at these championships, as we have seen in the past. So Louise Hansen off to a very good start. We've seen her at this Edinburgh International before. And the Swedish swimmer Louise Hansen leading Kathleen Dawson. Kathleen Dawson, of course, Olympic Games gold medalist in the relay for the GB team, the mixed medley relay, and making her return to the pool this year after a bout of injury last year. So she missed out on some of the major championships last year, Kathleen Dawson, but it's good to see her back in the water again. And she leads Hansen, though Hansen was very good off the wall there and regained that very slight advantage. So they'll have seen that first heat. Katie Shanahan in 3rd place in that previous heat, I should say, in 101.83. And Dawson and Hansen are going to come in absolutely together here, both in the 101 range. So that should be enough, you would think, to qualify them for that top 8. But Kathleen Dawson, Louise Hansen looking very good there. Good contest. Lenferink in 3rd in 103.23, just 1/100th ahead of Van Otterdijk. So as we go to the final heat, again, some big names here. Elise Tannis from Netherlands, Maria Godden. Maria Godden from Ireland in lane number 2, Ingeborg Longin from Lally Swimming in lane number 3, Kylie Mass from Ontario High Performance Centre. Katie Duluth from Loughborough University goes in 5. There's a Hosper from Netherlands in 6. Honey Osra in Loughborough University in 7. And Anna Green from Warren de Bath, the local swimmer. That red cap goes up there in lane number 8. Kylie Mass, one of the top swimmers in the world in backstroke. Silver medalist in the Tokyo Olympic Games just a year and a half ago. Kylie Mass takes it. Katie Duluth in second position, almost exactly a second behind Kylie Mass. Katie Duluth had a great British Universities Championship, setting some excellent times, especially in freestyle, sprint freestyle. Lonyin coming back strongly in lane number 3, but Kylie Mass is looking superb here. Kylie Mass is going to control this one. The Edinburgh International meet record, 59.16. She's not far out of that, just dipping over the 1 minute mark, 1 minute .21. It looked pretty comfortable in the closing stages of that one for Kylie Mass. The Canadian star, Katie Duluth in second, and Lottie Hosper in third. So, well, it looks like 101 was maybe the cut-off time for that final. And there we have the top 8 swimmers. 101.92. Lottie Hosper just getting in there, 10th of a second ahead of Maria Godden from Ireland, who's in the next 8. It's a tie there for 15th position. And Lucy Hope is missing out on that final. Of course, there's an A and a B and a junior final as well. Things more 100 backstrokes to take place this afternoon, so nothing settled yet in terms of who's going to go to the finals, but it'd be unusual for anybody in the afternoon to force their way into the top 8. So it does look like that 101 was the cut-off point to make that top 8. So it's going to be a cracking final. That's what you can say. So don't miss that tonight. Kathleen Dawson back in the water again. Kylie Mass, Louise Hansen looking good there. Kubova as well looked good in that very first heat, the Czech swimmer. As we go on to the men's 100 metres backstroke now, this is heat number 1 of 5 heats. Thomas Maskell closest to us from Derwent side. Philippos Yakovidis from Nicosia. Cypriot in lane number 2. Adam Graham from Millfield in 3. Tom Donker from PSV Eindhoven goes in 4. John Short from Limerick goes in 5. Dean Fern from Aberdeen Dolphins in 6. And Neddy Irwin from Limerick completes the lineup in lane number 7. So Yakovidis off to a good start there. Philippos Yakovidis representing Nicosia. Represented Cyprus in the Commonwealth Games, so just being caught in the closing stages there. John Short with a good finish from lane number 5. John Short just sneaks that one, the Limerick swimmer, in 56.77. Great time for him. Yakovidis as well, inside his entry time at 57.13. Tom Donker from PSV Eindhoven in 3rd place in 58 point. And there's a lineup for the second of these 5 heats. Stefan Omolchenko from Israel goes in lane number 1. Lewis Maxwell goes in 2 from University of Bath. Robert Burgess, City of Glasgow in 3. Tom Barden from Loughborough University in 4. Akanakahel Golden from Israel going in 5. Sam Pease from Stirling University next to his teammate Royce Warley. They go in 6 and 7. Cameron Travis from University of Aberdeen Performance goes in lane number 8. So 2 from Israel in this one. Omolchenko in 1 and Golden in lane number 5, but it's lane 6. Sam Pease, Stirling University swimmer, off to an excellent start there. Sam Pease is going to be the one to lead them into that turn. 27.49. It's a big lead there. 0.3 of a second. And great work underwater from Sam Pease. He's got the jump on the rest of this field, that's for sure. Tom Barden trying to come back here in the middle lane. Tom Barden in lane number 4, but Sam Pease, I think, is going to continue to hold this one. Golden trying to come back in lane number 5 as well, but Sam Pease with that good work on that first 50 and that great turn has taken him into the wall in front. 57.13 for Sam Pease. So a good performance from the Stirling swimmer. Golden with a good finish for second and Barden in third position. That's the lineup for the first of these seeded heats. Jack Skerry from Newhall going in lane number 1. Mads Mola from Hobenstadens into Manuel Martos Bacariso from Spain in 3. Jonathan Adam from University of Bath. He goes in lane number 4. Scott Gibson from Edinburgh University, another Commonwealth Games swimmer. The Scottish team, he goes in 5. Stan Frank from Trust goes in lane number 6. Connor Cherrington from Millfield in 7. Pablo Ortega Navarro from Spain. Completes the lineup in lane number 8. So again, as we've seen, smattering of Commonwealth Games athletes will take part in this championships over the next few days. Jonathan Adam leads them out in lane number 4. Scott Gibson in lane number 5. And Martos Iscario leads them both, actually, just by 4/100ths of a second at that turn. Again, top 8 will try to make that final. These 3 looking good, and also Jack Skerry going well down in lane number 1 here to the left of the screen as they come into the closing stages. Jack Skerry may well force his way into the top 3 here, well maybe not, as the middle lane's just stretched away and Adam was strongest at the end. Scott Gibson just touched out by Escarizo for second, and Skerry it was in 4th position in the end. Well, thought Skerry was going to just provide a little bit of a shock there, but 55.83 takes it. 56.18, 56.25. Again, interesting. 56.25, you would think they have a chance of making it, but 2 very fast heats to come. Might not be good enough. 56 point, we shall see. There's the swimmers for the next heat. Niels Dijksum from Netherlands in lane number 1. Connor Ferguson, Loughborough University, into Casper Pogart from Hobenstadens in 3. Brodie Williams, one of the favourites for this title, University of Bath. He will go in lane number 4. Bernhard Reidshammer from Ulsvik goes in lane number 5. Elliot Clogg from Loughborough University in 6. Armin Lell from Estonia goes in 7. Jamie Robertson from Stirling University goes in lane number 8. Oh, good start for Connor Ferguson. I saw him swim very fast in the sprint backstrokes at the Bucks Championship a couple of weeks ago. Brodie Williams, though, going well in the centre. Again, Commonwealth Games medalist Brodie Williams. Man, he might just take this one. A group of 4 swimmers all coming in together. And it is Connor Ferguson takes it. 55 seconds for the top 3 swimmers in that one. So it was Ferguson, then Brodie Williams, then Bernhard Reidshammer, the Austrian, under the 56 second mark there. Well, very close finish. Elliot Clogg, 56.14. Oh, it's going to be tight for this final, isn't it? 3 swimmers under the 56 second mark. Last heat still to come. Have we got all the swimmers here? I think we have. Might be missing one swimmer possibly. We'll wait and see when they get into the water. Oh no, someone hiding at the back, I think. Oh no. No lane 5. But we do have Moritz Dietrich. One of the Austrians going in lane number 1. Imbar Danziger from Israel into Adam Marana. His Israeli teammate goes in lane 3. Oliver Morgan from Birmingham goes in lane number 4. No one in 5. We have Cameron Brooker from University of Bath in 6. David Gerchik from Israel in 7. Jamie Ferguson in the outside lane there for University of Aberdeen Performance. He goes in lane number 8. So big Israeli presence here. 3 Israeli swimmers in this one. Marana leading them through. Danziger and Dietrich also very much in the mix here. Cameron Brooker going well in lane 6 and had an excellent turn there. Cameron Brooker. Oliver Morgan with that red cap in the centre, trying to come back in the closing stages now. I don't think he's going to touch Cam Brooker for the finish here. He finishes 55.51. Morgan 56.08. We'll see him into the top 8, I think. And Gerchik might just make it. And there we have it. Cam Brooker taking that one. Morgan in second. Gerchik in third. Oh, in fact, Derchik didn't make it. Acarizo from Spain is the last swimmer in 56.18. Wow. Gibson, Gerchik, Skerry, Short, just missing out on that top 8 there. It was very, very tough. It's going to be a great final, that one. It's going to be really, really close. Certainly that penultimate heat there, heat number 4, looked really good. Really close contest, and you can expect that in the final. So as we're scrolling down the positions and the confirmed times for these swimmers. Next event is the 200 metres butterfly for women. 4 heats in this one. 6 swimmers taking the start for this first heat. Well, I said 6, it was only 4. So 2 swimmers missing. We have Isabel Wood in lane number 2. No one in 3. Poppy Mead from Derventio in 4. Heidi Wren from City of Glasgow in 5. And Hannah Willis from City of Peterborough in lane number 6. So no one in 7, no one in 3. So just 4 swimmers taking the start here. It's like a good contest in the early stages. Entry times here, 2:24 for Poppy Mead from Derventio. The slowest, 2:25. So, expect a close contest in this 200 metres butterfly. So come down now to the halfway point. Still pretty close though, Poppy Mead and Hannah Willis. Heidi Wren, Isabel Wood, only a couple of seconds separating the whole field. Isabel Wood looking a little bit isolated out there on her own behind the three. Does look like Poppy Mead is going to stretch away from the others unless something spectacular happens in this final 50. Derventio swimmer. There's a lead now around about 2.5 Hannah Willis. In line number 6 now. Field getting a little bit stretched out now. Isabel Wood has got ahead of Heidi Wren. It's a nice head-on shot there that we can see. Looking at the technique of the leader, Poppy Mead, still looking strong, you have to say, as she comes into these closing stages. Poppy Mead with an entry time of 2:24.40 has improved that to 2:22.29, so she'll be delighted with her efforts early on this Friday morning here in Edinburgh. So well done, Poppy Mead, to take that one. Hannah Willis in second, Isabel Wood in third, and Heidi Wren in fourth position. Nice improvement on the entry time there from the winner of that heat. There's the lineup for heat number 2. We are straight into the seeded heats here. Only 4 heats in this one. So we have Karen Asbarush, line number 1 from Israel. Aja Cole from Derventio in 2. Katarina Price and Holly Hibbett, side by side, both from University of Bath in 3 and 4. Chiara Schlossen from Edinburgh University in 5. Kate Morris from Nova Centurion in 6. Zara Keegan and Faye Rogers go for University of Aberdeen Performance in 7 and 8. Faye Rogers in lane 8, the one of the para swimmers. It's not an event where we have para events. Some of the para swimmers, if they do make qualification standards for the main events, they can swim here in Edinburgh. Of course, it's the Para International, less than a week away actually, in Sheffield. Starts next Thursday. So Faye Rogers will be building up to that one, I'm sure, and it's a qualification for the Para World Championships, which is to be held in Manchester next year. And later on this year, I should say, in September. Painter, Holly Hibbett. Our top 3 just stretching away now. Katarina Price as well. Hibbett, Commonwealth Games swimmer, 5th place in the Commonwealth Games. Now chasing Chiara Slosson. Slosson going really well, based at Edinburgh University. Looking to try and make her way to secure her place into those top 8 to make her way into the final. But Slosson looking good. Hibbett is going to hold off a Katarina Price. But well done from Chiara Slosson. 2:12.63. Faster than her entry time, so she'll be pleased with that one. Hibbett on 2:14.85 and 2:16.02 for Katarina Price. So those 3 well ahead of the rest of the field. So again, we'll just keep an eye on those times as we go into these final 2 heats. Broughton goes in lane number 1 from Repton. Next to her Repton teammate, Hetty Damasa. Laura Cabanas Garzaz from Spain goes in 3. Kiana McInnes, again one of the favourites for this title. She goes in lane number 4, Stirling University swimmer. Ragitza Gar from Hovenstatens goes in lane number 5, the Danish swimmer. Regular visitor here to the Edinburgh International. Alba Vasquez Ruiz from Spain goes in lane number 6. Stella Cardi from City of Glasgow goes in lane number 7. And Susan McNair from Stirling Swim goes in lane number 8. Ciara McInnes, again, Commonwealth Games finalist. Lead at the halfway point there, 103.55 for McInnes. Vasquez Ruiz in second, Cabanas Garzas in third, so the two Spanish swimmers second and third there. It's very close though between, well, 5 swimmers for the second place. Yeah. Well, we saw Ciara Slosson from Edinburgh University go through in a 2:12.63, but McInnes really going for this one. Incredibly fast heat time from McInnes. She's been around on the kind of fringes of the Scottish squad for a number of years. Made the Gold Coast Commonwealth Games team back in 2018. It was kind of her first kind of major senior international. And, she's continued to be a fixture in that Scottish team. Kiana McInnes, 200 butterfly, certainly the event that she made her name. And just keep an eye on the clock, see how close she can get to that time from Slosson in the first heat. Just going to be behind Slosson in 2:13.34, but convincing victory there from Kiana McInnes. Ruiz 2:18 in second place, and Cabanas Garzas in third place in 2:19. So 3 swimmers under the 2:20 mark. Kiana McInnes certainly will be safely into that final. 2:18.03 should be enough to make it as well from Vasquez Ruiz. One more heat to come though. Final heat. Olivia Kingsland, Nova Centurion, goes in lane number 1. Paula Jus Sanchez in lane number 2. From Spain, Lily Rose Bertolo from Liga Aguara goes in lane number 3. Laura Stevens in 4 from Loughborough University. Emily Large from Millfield in 5. Maisie Elliott from Loughborough University in 6. Coco Croxford from Stirling Swim in lane 7. And Manon Dominguez back in the water again. So in the 100 backstroke, back in now for this 200 metres butterfly. So Laura Stevens will certainly be one of the favourites for this one. Commonwealth Games silver medalist. Leads them through in lane number 4. She had a couple of good contests with Kiana McInnes in the Bucks Championships a couple of weeks ago. She came out on top in this one. So McInnes will be trying to get some revenge over Laura Stevens for that race a couple of weeks ago. Of course, they'll all be building up to the British Championships in about a month's time. Qualification for the World Championships, of course, up for grabs when they go to Sheffield in a month's time. But Stevens looking good. She saw that in the previous heat from McInnes stretching away from the rest of the field. Stevens done exactly the same. Opened up a big lead of around about 3.5 seconds. Bertolo in third. Emily Large going well in third position. Just Sanchez in fourth. Those three having a little bit of a tussle there. Emily Large coming on strong though in this final 50. Not going to catch Laura Stevens as she comes into the wall. Great time, 2:08.40. Well, that is an excellent time for Laura Stevens. Much faster than anyone that we have seen so far in this 200 metres butterfly. So a great swim there from Laura Stevens to take that one. Less than a second outside the meet record there for Laura Stevens, which stands at 2:07.54. Held by Alice Thomas. And as a result of that heat, and as a result of the qualifiers, was a Katarina Price just getting in there in 2:16.02 from that third heat, from the second heat, sorry. And it wasn't enough. 2:18.03 for Vasquez Ruiz. So it was a very fast final heat there. Laura Stevens leads the way. And she is looking like she's going to be tough to beat. You don't know what the likes of Slosson and Kiana McInnes has got left in the tank. We shall see in the final, but Laura Stevens, I wonder if she's got her eyes on that meet record possibly held by Alice Thomas. That was set at the time when this meet had doubled up as the British Championships as well, back in 2018. So a tough record to beat there for Stevens, but well, we'll see if she can do it when we come to the final. 200 freestyle for men, making their way to the start now. 200 freestyle is one of the most competitive events for GB swimmers. Of course, that very successful gold medal winning 4x200 freestyle team that won in Tokyo Olympic Games. Everyone kind of trying to vie for a place in that one because they know how strong 200 freestyle is in GB. Tom Dean, of course, the Olympic champion. Duncan Scott, the Olympic silver medalist. James Guy as well, featuring in that team. Really strong contingent of 200 freestylers. 5 heats of this one. The first heat sees these 3 swimmers. Adam Graham, closest to us from Millfield, in 9.3. Charlie Poole from Stirling University leading them through to the halfway point. Goes in 9.4, and Sebastian Griesen from Hovenstadens in lane number 5. And we saw Tom Dean and Duncan Scott warming up a little bit earlier. Duncan Scott goes in heat 4, Tom Dean in heat number 5. But in this heat, Charlie Poole will lead them through. Let's have a check of the time for Charlie Poole. There's a big advantage there over the rest of them. About 3.5 seconds or so. Charlie Poole looking good. It's 30.15. You see the split times that he's done there appearing on your screen. So he's going much faster than the other 2 in this one. We'll see what Charlie Poole can do for this final 50. And he comes home in 1:55.79. Adam Graham in second, just over the 2-minute mark, and Sebastian Griesen in third place. So Charlie Poole taking that one in 1:55.79. Move on to second of these 5 heats. Tony Joe Tritt Oliver, Stirling University in 1, Dean Ahmed from Birmingham University in 2. Alexander Sargent back in the water again after that 1,500 metres. Wonder what he's got left in the tank, Alexander Sargent. Evan Davidson from Perth City in lane 4. Arjan Din from University of Bath in 5. Cameron Travis from University of Aberdeen Performance in 6. And Luke Van Rooij from PSV Eindhoven in lane number 8. In fact, I don't think we have anyone. In fact, Luke Van Rooij in 7 actually, he was leading them through. No one in 8. So the Dutch swimmer off to a very fast start, 1:52.80. Really going out very fast indeed. 54.65. Again, right at the opposite end of the pools. Tony Joe Tritt Oliver, 56.01. Sargent going well in the early stages here, 56.30. Sargent showing his strength, getting in ahead of the others, but is he going to catch swimmer in the outside lane here? It's Luke Van Rooij. Lead there. They are catching him. You see the split times there. Tony Joe Tritt Oliver around about half a second faster than Van Rooij in that previous 50. Sargent as well coming through very strongly. So are they going to catch the Dutch swimmer right at the end here? I think they might do. Sargent showing his strength again. Is Van Rooij going to hold on to this one? Oh, into the touch here. And it is Luke Van Rooij. Only just by 1/100th of a second. Wow. Luke Van Rooij takes it. He held on at the end. Alexander Sargent was finishing like a train there. Came through for second position. And Tony Joe Tritt Oliver in third position in 1:54.33. So good swim there from the outside lane for Van Rooij. Now we are moving into the seeded heats. Meet swimmers in this one. Fastest swimmer in lane number 4. They are in the seeded heat, so if you think of the top 3 swimmers, the fastest swimmer will swim in lane 4 in the final heat. The second fastest swimmer in terms of qualification times will swim in the second last heat in the middle lane, and the third last heat will be the third fastest swimmer. So that is Felix Olbeck. Goes in lane number 4 there, right in the middle. The lineup for this one: Jacob Whibley goes in lane number 1 from Repton, Charlie Hutchison from Loughborough University in 2, Luke Turley from University of Bath in 3, Felix Olbeck and Joe Litchfield, both Loughborough, go in 4 and 5, Cesar Castro-Valley from Spain in 6, Ed Mildred from University of Bath in 7, and Evan Bailey from Limerick goes in lane number 9. So the 2 from Loughborough starting to come through now. Joe Litchfield and Felix Olbeck. Felix Olbeck, of course, Tokyo Olympian, 4th place. Felix Olbeck, the Austrian, representing Loughborough. 4th place in the 400 freestyling Tokyo. Good turn there from Joe Litchfield, taking him ahead of his teammate here, Joe Litchfield. Starting to hold off Olbeck. It's going to be a good contest between these two. Olbeck trying to come back now. Castro-Valley in lane number 6 as well, but it's going to be Loughborough 1 and 2. Where is the touch going to go to? It's going to be Olbeck, I think. Great stretch for the wall in 1:49.47. So Felix Olbeck takes that one to Loughborough swimmers ahead of the field. The only 2 under the 150 mark. Castro-Valley just over that 150. Next heat. Coming in, heat number 4. So you see Charlie Brown from Loughborough University in line number 1, Finn McGeever from Limerick, in 2, Kieran Bird in 3 from University of Bath, 2 from University of Stirling, Duncan Scott and Jack McMillan. They go in 4 and 5. Oliver Sogard Anderson from Hovenstadens. And go in lane number 6, Francisco Arevalo Rubio from Spain in 7. Gabriel Meldeeb from Hovenstadens in 8. So 2 100s separating the 2 Stirling swimmers. Scott and Jack McMillan. Both Commonwealth Games swimmers, of course, for their respective countries. Duncan Scott for Scotland and Jack McMillan, Northern Ireland. Duncan Scott, of course, Commonwealth champion in this event. Olympic Games silver medalist behind Tom Dean. Tom Dean and Duncan Scott, great battles that they have had over the last couple of years in this 200 freestyle. Of course, they do team up, part of that hugely successful GB relay squad. First to the wall though is Jack McMillan ahead of Duncan Scott. We just saw 2 swimmers under the 150 mark in that previous heat. Duncan Scott looking relaxed there. Jack McMillan has the lead as they come into these closing stages now. Kieran Bird going well in lane number 3. And it's going to be 2 Stirling University swimmers. It's going to be McMillan, I think, into the wall first. 150.54 and 150.88. So just getting ahead of Rubio in 151.00. So interesting, but you would think with that time with Jack McMillan and Duncan Scott would be safely into that top 8, but we shall see. Quality field to come. Jeremy Bagshaw from Limerick goes in 1. Lucas Peters from Netherlands in 2. Jacob Whittle of Loughborough University in 3. Tom Dean and James Guy. 2 big names in the centre of the pool. They go in 4 and 5 University of Bath swimmers. Evan Jones, Stirling University, goes in 6. Will Bell from Loughborough University in 7. In fact, no one in 7, but we do have Yoav Romano in lane number 8. So after that strong start, Tom Dean, the Olympic champion, of course, back in Tokyo. And just got hit by Duncan Scott in the Commonwealth Games. These 2 with that head-head. James Guy, one of these GB relay team members that took the gold medal in Tokyo. Hugely experienced campaigner, James Guy. He's been almost one of the mainstays of that 4x200 metres freestyle squad for a number of years now. Hugely successful in terms of the Olympic Games. 5 Olympic medals James Guy's got. Incredible record over the years. Well, Tom Dean and James Guy leads them out. Who is going to be in 3rd spot? Might be Evan Jones, who's been coming on to a little bit of form. He won the British University's 200 freestyle title. Of course, a medalist at Commonwealth Games and the Scottish relay teams as well. Lucas Peters going well, Netherlands swimmer in lane number 2. We'll just keep an eye on the clock here. See if they are close to that 150 mark. Tom Dean really went out strongly, but he's eased right back in the closing stages here, and still going to be an excellent time. Look at that. How relaxed was that? 149, 150, 150.88. I think that's equal to Duncan Scott's time, if I'm right. for Jacob Peters. I think they might be safely into the final. Hope we're not going to be in for a swim-off. There we are. It is a tie for 7th place there for Duncan Scott and Lucas Peters. Just sneaking into the outside lanes. The big names are pretty much all there. Rubio missing out by 12/100ths of a second, as did Luke Turley and Jeremy Bradshaw very close behind, but big names are there. Duncan Scott in the outside lane for that final, if it is confirmed, of course. Of course, we have the afternoon's heats to come, but it's very difficult to see anyone breaking into that top 8. And, you know, Duncan Scott won the European title in the past from an outside lane. He's won international medals from the outside lane as well. I think it was the 400 IM in Birmingham, if I remember correctly, winning that bronze medal from an outside lane. So no stranger to that, Duncan Scott. He'll be a big danger there when they come to that final tonight. But Tom Dean looking absolutely supreme. Very, very easy in the closing stages of that 200 freestyle, and easing in to a time under the 150 mark. Great performance from the Olympic champion. He's going to be tough to beat, but it's going to be a cracking final. Move to the other end of the pool now. It's the first of 6 heats for the women's 50 freestyle. One length of the pool. Elise Cousins from Perth, Sophie de Groot from Loughborough University, Jana Spinner from University of Bath, Nicole Ricci, Edinburgh University, Mariana Romanovskaya from Repton in 5, Jasmine Hammerlane in 6, Natalie Marshall in 7, Ariana Stokes in lane number 8. Lane number 3, possibly Jana Spinner off to a good start, University of Bath. She's going to bring them home here. I think she is. 26.58 for Jana Spinner. Just ahead of Sophie de Groot. And Jasmine Hammerlane also under the 27-second mark, so 26.58. Second heat. Bill Smith, University of Bath in 1, Jessica Calderbank in 2, City of Manchester Aquatic, Lucy Grieve in 3 from Stirling, St de Commium from Belgium in 4, Nicole Dupree from Millfield in 5, Maisie Guilford, University of Bath in 6, Elena Morgan, Stirling Uni in 7, Melissa Mainwaring from West Lothian in lane number 8. St de Commium in lane number 4, the fastest entry time, along with Nicole Dupree, both on exactly the same entry time. They're both coming in pretty close, but it is Belle Smith there in lane number 1. We might have just sneaked that one there. Great swim there from University of Bath. So 2 wins in the first 2 heats for University of Bath, 26.94 for Belle Smith to take that one ahead of Nicole Dupree, 27.00. Oh, a good swim again from the outside lane. Camperal Mazakua in 1 for Spain. Georgina Pryor de Ventio in 2. Cornelia Palmer in 3. Clementine Lovell from Loughborough in 4. Kira Sterica from South Ayrshire in 5. Victoria Catterson, Ireland in 6. Anna Ravalingian from Belgium in 7, and Chiara Morris from Stirling University in lane number 8. So Lovell and Sterica split just by 1/100th of a second. Palmer as well, and Catterson. But who's going to take this one? Maybe lane number 3, Palmer. Yeah, 26.60 for Cornelia Palmer. 26.74 and 26.78, very close indeed, but Palmer taking that one in the 26-second mark. There's the lineup for this 4th heat, first of the seeded heat, so we'll see one of the fastest 3 ranked. Yep. The lineup for this one: Lotta van Hoelt, Roos van Otterdijk, Harriet Rogers, Katie Deloof, Evie Davis, Willow van Wyk, Diana Santamaria Losada and Laura Trompette back in the water again, the French swimmer in that outside lane. So Katie Duluth was in great form at the Bucks Championships, taking the gold in the 50 metres freestyle. The medalist in Tokyo in the US relay team. Katie Duluth with that distinctive stroke that we've come to recognise. She went under the 25-second mark at Bucks. She's just over the 25-second mark here in this qualifying heats. But that's a good swim from her, 25.34, half a second ahead of the rest of the field. 25.87 is Mila van Wyk. So convincing victory there from Katie Duluth. Should see her safely into that final. Can anyone dip under that 25-second mark in these two heats to come? Xian Guland, Noah Imogen Clark, Freya Anderson in 3, Kim Bush, Sam Van Nonen, Lucy Hope, Jemima Hall and Drew McKenzie. That is the lineup for this one. Kim Bush, one of the favourites, World Championship, European Championship swimmer for the Netherlands. Looking good in the early stages. It's head down for Kim Bush here. And she is going to take this one, I think, just ahead of Sam Van Nonen. 25.13 for Kim Bush. It's the fastest we've seen so far. Sam Van Nonen 25.59. Two Netherlands swimmers lead the way ahead of Bath University's Freya Anderson. So 25.13 from the Netherlands swimmer. Height number 6. This is Katie Goodburn, Senior Bro, Cornelia Vidiskevitz, Anna Hopkin, Isabella Hindley, Erin Reardon, Abby Wood and Laura Devine. Vidiskevitz off to a good start, as was Anna Hopkin there in lane number 4. Hopkin taking up the running, the Olympic Games gold medalist in the relay team. Mixed medley relay for Great Britain, and Anna Hopkin into the wall first, and she does dip under that 25-second mark, 24.98. Anna Hopkin swims well against Isabella Hindley, who finishes in second position there. Commonwealth Games swimmer for England. Hopkin will be fastest into that final, just ahead of Kim Bush and Katie Duluth. Should be a good contest there. Another 3 Loughborough swimmers have made it, just missing out Milo van Wyk in 25.87. So a good swim there in that final heat by Anna Hopkin, looking in good form. Just dipping under that 25-second mark for Anna Hopkin. We do know that Katie Duluth and Kim Bush capable of doing that as well, so should be a good contest between these 3. And don't discount anyone in the field. The 50 freestyles is very, very close in terms of time, so we can discount anyone in that 50 freestyle final. So we go to the men's sprint event this morning, and that's the 50 metres butterfly. Of course, a feature of this Edinburgh International is the skins event, so we'll see in all the 50 metres, so we'll bring you more news of these skins a little bit later on when we get into the final session. First of 5 heats, so in the 50 metres butterfly. That's 6 heats for this one, 50 metres butterfly. Callum Rose, Benjamin Chuyen, Brodie Gordon-Gibson, Elias Snow and Inbar Danziger. That is the lineup for this first of the 6 heats. So we'll start a local battle. 3 from Edinburgh,
and one from Warrender, but they are all beaten by the Danish swimmer, the Holbeck swimmer, Elias Noel, 25.41. Brodie Gordon-Gibson just a 1/100th outside that winning time there. So Elias Noel is pretty close in terms of times for all the swimmers in that first heat. Let's see what swimmers in this second heat can do. Liam Dawson from Derventio in 1. Russell Stroopers from Hovenstadens in 2. Luke Shaw from Edinburgh University in 3. Rory McKinnon, City of Glasgow in 4. Tom Donker from PSV Eindhoven in 5. Kieran Lennox, Aberdeen Performance in 6. Bruno Kempster from Edinburgh University in 7. And Sam Winston from Limerick in lane number 8. Rory McKinnon and Tom Donker separated in terms of entry by 7/100ths of a second. Oh, it's very close indeed. Who's going to get this one? It is Bruno Kempster and Tom Donker coming in the wall together there in 25.52. A dead heat for that one. 25.52, just ahead of Rory McKinnon and Kieran Lynn. Not much in that at all. Matter of hundredths of a second separating everyone. Goodness. Really close finishes here. Next heat is heat number 3. Tom Robertson, Aberdeen Dolphins in 1. Salvador Gordo, Stirling Uni in 2. Evan Bailey from Limerick in 3. Dean Fern, Aberdeen Dolphins in 4. Ben Carr, Edinburgh University in 5. Lewis Maxwell in 6. University of Bath. Tom Bealey, Aberdeen Performance in 7. Cole Hewitt from City of Sheffield in lane number 9. Might be Ben Carr and Tom Bealey with the best starts there in 5 and 7. Ben Carr going well. Looking like he's taking these ones in to the wall. Ben Carr with a relatively convincing win there. You could definitely tell it was Ben Carr ahead of the rest of the field. 0.2 of a second the gap between him and Dean Fern, with Tom Robertson in 3rd position. So Aberdeen Dolphin swimmers going through into the top 3, but the Edinburgh Uni swimmer Ben Carr getting in ahead. Good performance from him. Into the seeded heats now. We have Martin Kartavi, Edward Mildred, Gregor Swinney, Thomas Piron, Yanis Dutel, Andreas Vasaios, Brian Leung, Tom Fannin. That's the lineup for this one. Again, it should be a very interesting heat. What a good start from Ed Mildred in lane number 2, taking him into an early lead here. Maybe coming back in lane number 4, Thomas Piron possibly. And 5, Yanis Dutel. It's 4 and 5, I think, into the wall first. Yeah, Piron takes it, 24.33. With Dutel in 2nd position. Mildred following on from that good start, taking that 3rd position, just ahead of Gregor Swinney, who came through strongly. Oh, it's going to be tight to make that final, that top 8. 24 and a half there. With 2 more heats to come. Brogan Hyde, Oliver Sogard Anderson, Sean Newell, Jacob Peters, Nikita Bias, Thomas Carswell, Jamie Robertson, Lewis Pachok. Koshi in the outside lane had a very good start there in lane number 8, but here comes Jacob Peters now. Jacob Peters, 5th place in the Commonwealth Games, University of Bath swimmer in lane number 4. Maybe just has the edge over Nikita Bias in 5. Jacob Peters takes it under the 23-second mark. That'll make sure of his position in the top 8, that's for sure. Bias 24.12, and Newald and Carswell tied on 24.33. Are we going to be in for a swim off here? Been skirting round it. We've had some ties, but they haven't affected the vital positions to make their way into the top 8 places. That one, well, we just might see that. We'll see what happens in this final heat. Jacob Peters looked good in that previous heat. We have Martinez Novoa, Callum Bain, Jamie Ingram, Simon Bucher, Casper Bogard, James Guy back in the water again, Killian Pegg and Ho Tin Long, the outside lane from Loughborough. Great start there for Simon Bucher, the Austrian swimmer. Really going well in the early stages here. 5th place in the European Championships. He's going to win this by a long way, 23.73. Killian Peck in 2nd position, 24.51. And Jamie Ingram in 3rd, 24.57, just ahead of James Guy, 24.58. Who's going to make it to the final? It's going to be very tight indeed. Killian Peck just makes it. Look at that. 3 swimmers tied on 24.33. Wow, what a close contest. Simon Bucher will lead the way. And Ed Mildred will be the one to miss out just by a couple of 100s. Jamie Ingram and James Guy missing out as well. What a close event that was. I didn't think we'd be on for a swim off actually. I was kind of quite looking forward to that one. All those swimmers tied on 24.33. But they all made it safely into the top 8. So those will be the provisional top 8, of course. Times from this afternoon's heats can qualify for a final in the evening. One of the A or the B or the junior finals. But probably unlikely that anyone will force their way into the top 8. It is possible, but unlikely, you would say. So back to the other end of the pool now. And we up the distance. It's the 400 freestyle for women. 4 heats of this one. So 7 swimmers in the pool in this first heat. We have Phoebe Arbuckle from Warren de Baths, that familiar red cap, in lane number 1. We have Mia Schramendijk from Netherlands in 2, Scarlett Orchard from Loughborough University in 3, Olivia Kingsland from Nova Centurion in lane number 4, Harry Oxley from Repton in 5, Guy Alcaraz from University of Aberdeen Performance in 6. And Alicia Dingle looks like she might be leading them into the first 100. She goes in lane number 7. So 32.77. Schravendijk in 2nd position, just half a second behind Scarlett Orchard in 3rd position. So a good start there from Alicia Dingle. Centre lane's not really featuring there. It's the outside lanes who are bossing this one in the early stages. Dingle still leads them through. Just half a second still, the gap not really changing like very much at all. She goes through at 2:11, 96. So we'll see if anyone can pull through in the second half of this one. Scarlett Orchard going well in lane number 3. And also trying to come back, Gaia Alcaraz as well, in lane number 6, University of Aberdeen swimmer. Scarlet Orchard has taken up the running as they come down to the 300 metre mark here at Loughborough University swimmer. If the centre lane's got anything left in the tank for this final 100. Hasn't really got split apart too much. This field, Orchard and Dingle still in control here. Kind of places have kind of flipped a little bit. Still the gap about half a second, but not too much in it at all. Alcaraz is the one who's probably making the move now. Just off in the split time, she had the fastest time of anyone in the field. Interesting to see the splits on the captions there. Here in the venue, you can actually some of the splits are coloured red and green. So if they're coloured red, you see the swimmers who are getting slower. If they're coloured in green, see the swimmers who are getting faster. And there's only one swimmer who is not getting faster in this entire field as they go into the closing stages of this one. Scarlet Orchard has got this one. Alicia Dingle in second, Guy Alcaraz in third. It's going to be a real tussle to the final few metres here. It's Alicia Dingle. Is she going to come home in front? Oh, it's very close indeed. And it is 7/100ths of a second, but Alicia Dingle gets this one. She takes it ahead of Scarlet Orchard in second position, and Gaia Alcaraz finishing fast in third position. So Dingle takes that one. 4:28.88 the winner. Nice last 100. She was caught by Scarlet Orchard, but Alicia Dingle had the fastest finish there as we go into the second heat. Last two heats of this one are the seeded heats, so this is just a time seeded heat, this one. We have Emma Price, Natasha Simpson. Emma Price is from the Borough of Stockton, Natasha Simpson from Warren de Baths. And that familiar red cap there. Sophie Mago from Hovenstadens goes in lane number 3. Anna Ravelingian from Belgium in 4. Astasia Gorbenko from Israel in lane number 5. Hetty Damasa in 6 from Repton. And Mari Craig and Sophie Main, both from Edinburgh University, go in 7 and 8. Swimmers in the middle, almost in a diagonal line there. Gorbenko. Looks like we might have the lead here. Havelingian, Mago, Simpson then closely behind, 103.23. So still looking good, Gorbenko. Need to stretch out a little bit of a gap now, in a couple of seconds. And 2 very fast heats to come. If these swimmers go down to the halfway point. Gorbenko, big swimmer for the Israeli team. I'm not surprised to see her stretching away from the others here. 208, 59. Entry time here, 4:23. She looks like she's well inside that time, that's for sure. Very close contest for second here. Murray Craig going into the second half of this race. Gorbenko has a lead of about 4.5 seconds now. And you look at the splits there, 32.97, the only swimmer who swam that last 50 under the 33-second mark. The Israeli national swimmer. Stretching away here. Anastasia Gorbenko. It's going to be a convincing win in this heat. Murray Craig going well in 7. Got ahead of Lana Rebellion. Gorbenko. We'll see her in a range of events over this weekend. She competes in a number of distances. Anastasia Gorbenko. Real stars of Israeli swimming. Looks like she is making a bid here. See if she can force her way into the top 8 in this 400. We'll just keep an eye on that clock there. 4:19.75. Great swim from Gorbenko. I just wonder if she's got a chance of making that top 8. It's going to be very tough, I think. But 4:20 might be a good target for the rest of the field. Ravelingen in second place. Murray Craig swam well in third spot, and Hetty Damasa, the only other swimmer under the 4:30 mark. And as the next heat comes to the start. So we are into the seeded heats now, so the swimmers in the middle will be amongst the higher ranked for this event in terms of entry times. Fleur Lewis goes in lane number 1 from Loughborough University. Caroline Jensen from Hovenstatten's in 2. In lane 3, Leah Crisp from University of Bath. Lane 4, Freya Colbert in beside her teammate Mia Slevin, both Loughborough University. She goes in lane number 5. Valentina Leclerc goes for Liga Aura in 6. Michaela Glenister from Stirling University in 7. And Yara Kalmthut from Netherlands in lane number 8. We saw Gorbenko set that target of 4:19.75. Keep an eye on that time. Keep an eye on swimmers in the centre here. Freya Colbert, again another one of the rising stars of GB swimming. Get away into the British senior team. For the last couple of years, Freya Colbert, Commonwealth Games swimmer for the English team. Entry time of 4:09.04. You know, she's in good form. She swam a couple of weeks ago at the Bucks Championships, taking the silver medal. Just missed out on the final Commonwealth Games as well. Leah Crisp going well in second position. She was the British champion last year, but in the longer distance, in the 800 freestyle, Fleur Lewis was also going in lane number 1, also a British champion, but in the 1500 freestyle. Flew Lewis right down at the bottom of your screen here as they go over at the halfway point. Top 4 inside the time that we saw in that previous heat from Gorbenko, but not by much. Gorbenko went through in the 208s, and the top 4 went up through in 207s and below. Leah Colbert's got this one under control though. Leah Chris looking good in second. And Mia Slavin and Valentine Leclerc in third and fourth, side by side there. Colbert. Looking pretty comfortable. They come to the 300 mark. Again, she'll be hoping making her way into that final. The meet record is held by Jazz Carlin at 406.79. Again, another tough standard for anyone who designs on the meet record here. Carlin, of course, Olympic Games medalist. Freya Colbert just has the lead here, but Leah Chris coming back strongly inside her. We'll just keep an eye on that 4:19.75 target from that previous heat. I think these top 4 might be under that, but again, as I said, it won't be by much. Freya Colbert looking under, she has this under control though. Just keeping an eye on Leah Crisp alongside her. Chris pulling up alongside Colbert, but Colbert's going to make sure she stays ahead, I think. She has a little bit left in the tank as Crisp and Colbert come in together. Colbert getting it 4:14. Yeah, Slavin and Leclerc safely inside that 4:19 mark from the previous heat. So Colbert and Crisp will be safely into the final, as will probably Slavin and Leclerc in that top 4, unless we see an incredibly swift final heat. And there is the lineup for that final heat. Alba Vasquez Ruiz for Spain in 1. Anja Priest from Nova Centurion in 2. Jana van Kooten from Netherlands in line number 3. Paige Madden from Loughborough University in at line number 4. Silke Holkenborg from Netherlands in 5. Alice Pisan from Belgium in 6. Alba Herrero Lazaro from Spain in 7. And the Austrian Johanna Enker goes in the outside lane. A bit of a delay to the start, but they are away now.
So we will go with number 4, Alba Vasquez from Spain in 1, and Priest from Nova Centurion in 2.
Paige Madden was the Bucks champion a couple of weeks back, just getting in ahead of Freya Colbert on that occasion. Tokyo Olympic Games silver medalist in the 4x200 relay for the USA team. And of course, representing Loughborough University. She goes in lane 4. She's been headed at the moment by Jana van Kooten. Jana van Kooten, the Netherlands champion. In lane number 3. Silke Holkenborg going well. And 2 Dutch swimmers ahead as they come in. Sani, the Belgian swimmer, in 3rd place. So it's Netherlands and Belgium walk out at the minute at the top of the field. Paige Madden going along pretty nicely in 4th position. Again, these top 4 beginning to stretch away from the the field. A time from Anastasia Gorbenko, 4:19.75 will be the target for these four, because they know they're in the top four positions. With Gorbenko sitting in 5th place at the minute in terms of the rankings. Van Kooten going well though, as they come down to the halfway point. So Madden, pre-race favourite, still in 4th position, just a 1/10 of a second now behind Silke Hulkenberg and Alice Pisani. Van Kooten still leading the way, working pretty hard there to try and stay ahead of the chasing three. 3 swimmers there inside the leader. Pretty close, all in a row. Madden trying to come back, as we thought she might. Experienced US swimmer. She's gone into 2nd place now. Pisani in 3rd, Hulkenberg in 4th. As these top 4 just increase the gap between them and the others in this field. Herrero Lazaro in lane 7, having a private battle there with Johanna Inker. Come down to the 300 mark here. Madden's moved through into 2nd position. Can she come right through the field here? Jana Van Kooten has held this lead right from the start. She still has a 1.5 advantage over Paige Madden, but Madden now right on the feet of the Dutch swimmer. Pisani just trying to pull away from Hulkenberg as they go over this final turn now. You would think that these top 4 swimmers would be safely into this top 8 now, but they're going to have to just watch a step. Hulkenberg, the one in danger, but I think she might be okay. But it's been a good heat swim here from Jana Van Kooten, led from start to finish. The Netherlands swimmer is going to bring them home, and a time for her, 4:14.51. Sani 4:16 ahead of Madden, 4:19.60, just making it, I think. Oh, she did have to watch there. 4:19.60 will get her into the top 8, I think, for Hulkenberg. So 2 from Netherlands, 1 from Loughborough, 1 from Belgium should progress to the final. There we have it, yeah, just sneaking in there, Hulkenberg. Freya Colbert leads the way, Van Kooten in 2nd and Crisp in 3rd. Look at that, only split by half a second. Gorbenko swam a great heat there, the Israeli star, just missing out by 0.1 of a second in the end. Oh, she'll be disappointed with that one, but as I said, Gorbenko seems to be a multi-eventer. She's got a number of events at this meet over the weekend. So looking forward to see her back again. Of course, she'll be back again for the B final in the 400 freestyle.
They are 8 finalists: Anna Hopkin, Kim Bush, Katie DeLuve, Sam Van Noonen, Isabella Hindley, Cornelia Fiedler,
To the next event, which is the men's 200 metres breaststroke.
Katie Goodburn, Evie Davis, and Sharon Gowan, and reserves Bruce Van Otterdijk and Jemima.
And again, some big names taking part in this 200 breaststroke, or due to take part in this 200 breaststroke. First heat with a couple of lines missing, maybe 1 line missing. So Matthew Garrity goes in lane number 2. The City of Glasgow, Joseph Martin in lane number 3. No one in 4, but we do have Sam Williamson, University of Bath, Joseph Badut from City of Glasgow, and Ollie Kettle from University of Bath. Total times for this heat range from 2:24.04 to 2:24.81, so nothing at all to choose between anyone in this field in terms of entry time. Ollie Kettle led them through the first 50. He's going to lead them through the first 100. Just about, I think, holding off the challenge of Joseph Martin by 5/100ths of a second. Sam Williamson in third place. Joseph Betout in fourth position. Oh, good start here from Ollie Kettle. 2:24, as I said, with the entry times for everyone in this field. Pretty close, they're all kind of closing up now. Ollie Kettle has a look across there. You see, he's still got a slender advantage. Joseph Martin, Sam Williamson, Matthew Garrity not too far away. Ollie Kettle, fastest of anyone in the field though, dipping under that 38 second mark for that previous 50, and it's looking like he is going to be the stronger. He comes into the final few metres now. Ollie Kettle is going to be in ahead, and he will take it in 2:24.78, so he's pretty much bang on his entry time there for Ollie Kettle. Great swim from the outside lane for him. So, Ollie Kettle. And there's the lineup for the second of these heats. We're into the seeded heats, so fast swimmers in the centre lanes. Charles Grondell from Trust in 1, William Ellington, Stirling University, in 2, Adam Peaty from Loughborough University in 3, Owen Corby from Ireland in 4, George Smith from Stirling University in 5, Stian Luther from Netherlands in 6, and Bram Sveltsloot, Netherlands in 7. Arthur Llewellyn from Loughborough University picks the lineup in lane number 8. In fact, we have no one in 6, so no Stian Luther taking the start for this one. Well, into a lead is Adam Peaty. Adam Peaty, of course, what can you say about the great man? Going over the 200 breaststroke. Now, often see him over the 200 breaststroke too often in recent years. It's the 100 breaststroke, the 50 breaststrokes, very much been his focus. He's absolutely dominated in those two events, Adam Peaty. He's had his injury problems over the last year or so, Adam Peaty, but looking strong here. They come down to the halfway point. I've seen him at the Edinburgh International before. I did mention the skins earlier, that Adam Peaty, the 50 metre events sometimes have skins, so you swim 50 metres in quick succession. I think every 3 minutes or so you have a 50 metre swim and you lose one swimmer from each of the rounds, and Adam Peaty absolutely dominated the skins a couple of years in a row at this Edinburgh International, just banging out 50 breaststrokes in short succession. Really consistent stuff, and it's a real star in the making at that time. He's gone on to take 2 Olympic gold medals, of course, in the 100 breaststroke, one of Britain's most successful ever Olympians. Owen Corby leads Adam Peaty though, just as they go into this final turn. Peaty trying to come back now. Also going well, George Smith in lane number 5. Stirling University against Ireland, against Loughborough University. Who is going to be into the wall first? It's very close between the three. And George Smith just takes it by 0.12 of a second. Finish from Adam Peaty as well, 2:16.41 for him. And Owen Corby, 2:16.68. So George Smith takes that second heat. So 3 swimmers on the 2:16 mark. That could be enough for a place in the final. 2 more heats to come in this 200 breaststroke. So second heat on the way. 2:16 will be the target, the immediate target for these swimmers. Joshua Mitchell goes in 1. Edinburgh University. Max Vass from City of Stoke in 2. Dara Green from Ireland in 3. Greg Butler from Loughborough University in 4. Eugene Cook from Ireland goes in lane number 5. Luca Janssen from Netherlands in 6. Liam Davis from Edinburgh University in 7. And Jay Manners goes for Derwentside in lane number 8. Max Vass off to a good start. City of Stoke swimmer goes in lane number 2 as they go into the second 50 though. Does look like Dara Green is taking up the running here. Irish swimmer. Some of the European Championships for Ireland. Greg Butler. Commonwealth Games swimmer for the English team. Had a triple breaststroke success in the Bucks Championships a couple of weeks ago, winning the 50, the 100 and the 200 breaststroke. Eugene Cook. A little bit off the pace at the minute. The Irish swimmer in lane number 5. Trying to pick this one up in the last 50. Luca Janssen and Liam Davis are ahead of Cook at the minute. But Cook with the momentum here and be trying to make his way through. Eugene Cook, he doesn't want to be finishing in 4th position. He would love to be in the top 3, I think. Dara Green looking good, Greg Butler looking good as well. 2:16, remember, in that previous heat. Wonder if this heat is going to go anything faster. It's going to be pretty much similar times here. 2:16.79 for Green, Butler in 2nd, Janssen in 3rd, and Cook in 4th place. Might be tougher. Cook to force his way into that final on a 2:18.46. Green should be okay on the 2:16. Butler and Janssen looking pretty good on the 2:17 mark. So final heat. Conor Massey from Aberdeen Performance in 1, Ross Young from Edinburgh University in 2, Callum Melville from Nova Centurion in 3, James Wilby from Loughborough University goes in lane number 4, Ivo Kroos from Netherlands in 5, Andrew Feenan from Limerick in 6, Archie Goodburn, Edinburgh University in 7, and Don Bissett from Stirling University in lane number 8. Well, James Wilby is the meet record holder here. That record time starts at 2:09.47. James Wilby, of course,
European champion, Commonwealth
silver medalist in this one, Commonwealth gold medalist in the 100 breaststroke. And was the gold medalist in this event back in 2018 Commonwealth Games, so a great record in this event, James Wilby. Over at 104.44, Archie Goodburn going well in lane number 7. Archie Goodburn, another Scottish Commonwealth Games swimmer. In favour in the shorter distances in Archie Goodburn, Evil Cruz, James Wilby, that's the top 3 as they come into this final turn. Andrew Feenan in 4th position. Just keep an eye on this, these times here. Half the people in the 2:16 range, a couple in 2:17. But Wilby and Ivo Cruz going very well, the Netherlands champion. And Wilby just has got this one in control, I think. And he's going to take this one. It's going to be the fastest time, I think. 2:14.28. 2:14 Ivo Cruz in 2nd. Oh, 2:19 for Feenan in 3rd. Might be good news for Eugene Cook, who may just well scrape into that top 8. We'll have to see. James Wilby, though, takes that one. He will be firm favourite to take the title this evening. 2:14.28 should get him safely into the final. Ivo Cruz will make it as well in 2nd. There are the top 8. Oh, in fact, Eugene Cook does miss out because it's 2:17.92, which is the cut-off point, and Cook in 9th position. Adam Peaty will make it through safely into that final of the 200. So again, Wilby looking really, really good, but with the great Adam Peaty in there, you can never tell. It's the 200 breaststroke, however. Peaty, of course, better known for the 100 and the 50. But he's absolute quality, of course, as we know. And talking of the 100 breaststroke, here is the women's 100 breaststroke. 5 heats of this one. Just 4 swimmers in the first of this 5 heat. So Anna Finlay in line 3 from Derwent's side. Grace Palmer goes for Belgium in line number 4. Emily Morgan-Hughes from the University of Bath in 5. And Ailey Robertson from South Ayrshire in line 6. So Emily Morgan-Hughes leads them through. It's very close though, less than a second separating all 4 here. Entry times 1:13 and 1:14 across the board. So keep an eye on the clock there. So very tight indeed. That's 4, maybe line 5, Emily Morgan-Hughes, so might get into the finish here. Morgan-Hughes gets it, 1:13.14. Good time for Emily Morgan-Hughes. Grace Palmer, 1:13.43, just 4 100s inside her entry time, and Anna Finlay also an improvement on her entry time by a slender amount. Here is heat number 2. Justine Brock goes for Villefranche in 1. Louise Edmonds from Edinburgh University in 2. Mickaleen Stockeborough from Hovenstadens in 3. Ciara Davidson from City of Glasgow in 4. Mai Rogers from Warren de Baths in 5. Denisa Elena Gogu, City of Manchester Aquatics in 6. Katie Shanahan in lane number 7 from Stirling University, and Bridget Lemessurier in lane number 8, sorry, from another one who has really come through the ranks in the last couple of years, winning a couple of medals at the Commonwealth Games for Scotland. Almost a surprise medalist. Well, it was to her, I think, judging by the interview that we saw after those medal-winning performances in Birmingham last year. Also, European silver medalist as well. Tends to have been successful in the European and Commonwealth stage in the longer distances. But this 100 breaststroke, she's no slouch, Katie Shanahan. Great individual medley swimmer, great all-rounder, excellent backstroker as well. 1:12.21 for Katie Shanahan. Big improvement for her. A second or so, just over a second improvement ahead of Denisa Elena Gogu and Bridget Lemessurier in third position. That's the lineup for heat number 3. Ailsa MacDonald from Edinburgh University in 1. Anna Morgan from Edinburgh University in 2. Zinkel Delcomon from Belgium in 3. Niamh Coyne from Ireland in 4. Brigitte Sagard from Hovenstadens in 5. Ciara Fletcher, Nova Centurion in 6. Alwyn Cook from Edinburgh University in 7. And Ombre Franconet from Belgium in lane number 8. So entry times, Niamh Coyne the fastest, 1:07.83. We're into the seeded heats now. Brigitte Sagard, we've already seen her this morning. Niamh Coyne. Well, again, Irish swimmer, European Championship swimmer for the Irish team. Entry time of 1:07.83. She's hoping to dip under that. Ciara Fletcher in second, Alwyn Cook in third place, but Niamh Coyne looking like she has clear water between her and the rest of the field at the minute. Pretty close for second place, but no doubt about Niamh Coyne's going to take this one. Just keep an eye on the clock. If she's going for this, doesn't show any signs of slowing down in the later stages there. So 1:09.85 from her. Alwyn Cook. Ciara Fletcher just getting in ahead of Anna Morgan for third place. But dominant performance there for Niamh Coyne, 1:09.85. Let's see what the next heat can do. Paige Fenton goes in 1 for Loughborough University. Ophelia Nodekar from Hovenstadens in 2. Cornelia Pammer from Austria in 3. Imogen Clark, Derventio in 4. Anna Palmans from WVZ from the Netherlands in lane number 5. Ellie McCartney from Ireland in 6. Hannah Bowley from Repton in 7, and Orla Adams from University of Aberdeen Performance in lane 8. Imogen Clark, medalist, Commonwealth Games, silver medalist in the 50 breaststroke. The English team leads them through 0.1 of a second ahead of Anne Palmans. Ellie McCartney and Cornelia Pammer just split by 2/100ths of a second there for third position. So Imogen Clark and Anna Palmans leading them through. Imogen Clark very strong in the closing stages here. Looking good for Imogen Clark, 1:09.34. Excellent time there, and that's the fastest we've seen so far. Ellie McCartney finished well, to get in for second position. The Irish swimmer just behind her Irish teammate in that previous heat, Niamh Coyne, and Cornelia Palmer, the Austrian, also in the 110 range, as was Palmans as well. So a few in the 110 range there, with one more heat to come. Anna van Druffelaar from Netherlands, Katie Goodburn from Edinburgh University, Anka Jeroens from TSZ, Anastasia Gorbenko back in the water again, goes in for Cara Hanlon, Edinburgh University in 5, Emer Doyle from Limerick in 6, Jill Nai Chung Tong from WVZ Netherlands in 7, and Charlotte Hardy from Millfield in line number 8. So Anastasia Gorbenko and Cara Hanlon in the middle of the pool. Great start from Cara Hanlon, new Scottish record a couple of weeks ago at Bucks. Incredibly fast, 106.75. She took the second place at Bucks. I wonder what she's going to do in this heat this morning. What she's got to do in the final. It's all, of course, building towards the qualification for the World Championships in a month's time at Sheffield. Cara Hanlon's got to be in pole position for that, looking in really good form. Second position, Jeroens at the halfway point, but Gorbenko coming back strongly in line 4. But Cara Hanlon, we'll keep an eye on the clock here. It's going to be another great time. 107.40 for Cara Hanlon. That's the fastest we've seen from the heats. Gorbenko 108. I think that's the second fastest. And in third, Anka Jeroens, just ahead of Van Druffelaar for third place. So, yeah, is it going to be 110 that's going to make it to that final, that top 8? Cara Hanlon certainly will be there, as will Gorbenko. They're the top 2 positions, and yeah, 110 it was. And Palmans just scraping in there in 110.76. And it was the 110 that was the cut-off point. Van Druffelaar just missing out there, as well as Emer Doyle, Alwyn Cook and Hannah Bowley. But again, should be a great final. Cara Hanlon looking really good at the front of the field there. She will start as the firm favourite for that one. Well, we'll move on to the last event of this morning here. It's the men's 200 metres individual medley. So there is final swimmers for the under breaststroke. There's the 200 metres individual medley, first of the 5 heats. Robert Burgess goes to City of Glasgow in line number 1. Connor Cherrington from Millfield in line 2. Tom Robinson goes in 3 for the University of Aberdeen Performance. For Sullivan from Edinburgh University in line number 4. Mike Merder challenging for the lead. He goes in lane number 5, the Israeli swimmer. Dom Bissett from Stirling University in 6. Sam Williamson, University of Bath in 7. And Ben Twyman from Derventio in lane number 8. So Suvalov going through pretty well in these early stages. Merder led them through. Robert Burgess also going well right down there in line number 1 as they go on to the breaststroke. Very often things can change about. Merder looking good though, right up at the top. Ben Twynham coming back strongly on this breaststroke leg. Connor Cherrington also with that green cap in lane number 2. He's very close indeed at the front now. And Suvalov is pulled up alongside Murder as they go into this final turn. It's going to be Murder and Suvalov in together. Again, 4/100ths of a second just separating them, but you see the splits there. Murder into the 39-second range on the breaststroke, and all but one of the others were faster than that. But Murder looks like he's recovered into the freestyle, and he's looking pretty good to take this one. It's going to be a real fight here between Suvalov and Murder, I think. Cherrington also coming back, and also a great finish from Tom Robinson as well. And it was Cherrington who takes it ahead of Murder and Robinson, but there was absolutely nothing in that at the end. 9/100ths of a second. Murder just being pipped by Connor Cherrington. 2:10.74. So second heat. Oh, bit of an issue here at the start. Someone's out there, so a little bit of a technical delay in this final event. Just looking at who has to come a little bit later on. Duncan Scott due to take the start in that final heat of this 5, so he will certainly be one of the men to beat in this 200 metres individual medley. Returning again, of course, after that 200 freestyle that we have seen earlier. Yeah, a little bit of a delay in the proceedings here right at the end, just as we thought we were going along very nicely. It's the final event, and we have a little bit of a delay. Let's hope it's not going to be too long. As I said, Duncan Scott taking that, due to take the start in this 200 metres individual medley. We saw him earlier on in that 200 freestyle. Just looking back at what we have seen earlier this morning. Great swim in that 1500 freestyle, that very first race for Alexander Sargent. We saw him back again in the 200 freestyle, so tough shift for him. But that 1500 freestyle will be tonight. The fastest heat will be tonight, and there's some big names in that one. So the Whiffen twins, Nathan and Daniel Whiffen, go in that one side by side. Daniel Whiffen, of course, medalist at the Commonwealth Games for Northern Ireland, one of the first medalists for Northern Ireland at the Commonwealth Games in swimming. 100 backstroke, we'll see that Kylie Mass, the Olympic silver medalist, in there as well for women, alongside Kathleen Dawson. Scotland's own Kathleen Dawson, Olympic gold medalist, of course, in the relay. Men's 100 backstroke promises to be a close contest as well. Swimming there from Brodie Williams in qualification. Will take him close to pole position as he goes into that top 8 in the final. Been near any meet records this morning, but I just wonder if anyone can edge closer to some of that in the finals tonight. That's probably more likely the finals. Occasionally we see some meet records set in the heats, but they have been pretty well established. As I said, we've had pretty good class of competitor here over the past few years, so the meet records are quite high standard. So we are away for the second heat of this one. It's Yahav Halag from Israel in 1, Jay Manners from Derwentsside in 2, Andrew Bertoli from Stirling University in 3, Luca Janssen, Netherlands in 4, Luke van Rooij goes in 5 for PSV Eindhoven, Harper Whitehead from Stirling University in 6, Jamie Ferguson in 7 from Aberdeen Performance, and Niels Dijkshoorn. In fact, no Niels Dijkshoorn in line number 8. So Jamie Ferguson off to a good start in the outside lane. He was headed after the butterfly by Luca Janssen. Right in the middle, Andrew Bertoli going well, and Halag right down here in line 1 is going well in the backstroke. Halag leads them through by 1/100th of a second. Jamie Ferguson in second position there. Luke van Rooij in third. Andrew Bertoli in fourth position. Halag still looking pretty good. Luca Janssen coming through in that centre lane though. Luca Janssen. Great 35.5 split on that breaststroke. Look what a difference that has made. 2 seconds almost faster than the rest of the field. Only Andrew Bertoli was the only one inside that 2-second advantage that Janssen had on the breaststroke. Can he hold on though? Bertoli coming back now in line number 3. Halag coming back in line number 1. And Van Rooij in line number 5, but it is going to be Luca Janssen. Great swim from him. He takes it in 2:08.01. Good freestyle there for Van Rooij in second place. Andrew Bertoli in third position, just being pipped by the Dutch swimmer. And Halag is in fourth place. So the final 3 heats of this 200 metres individual medley. I think we have all 8 swimmers here. Charles Kershaw from Loughborough University in 1, Miguel Martinez Novos from Spain in 2, Liga Ora Leo Gruap goes in lane number 3, James McFadden, Loughborough University in 4, George Smith, Stirling University in 5, Jack Casson from Ireland in 6, Evan Davidson from Perth City in 7, and Josh Press from Stirling University in line number 8.
Evan Davidson of Perth City in 7, Josh Press, Stirling University in lane 8.
So Martinez number 1 leads them through, 26.56. Nice butterfly start there for the Spanish swimmer. Number 6 going well, Jack Casson, the Irish swimmer, strongly. So moves into the halfway point here. It's going to be Spanish swimmer and the Irish swimmer there, 58.99 for Novoa. And Casson, 59.69. So at the halfway point, Jack McFadden in third position, the pre-race favourite, Jack McFadden, Loughborough University swimmer, finalist in the Commonwealth Games. George Smith in lane number 5. Very strong breaststroker, as we saw just a short time ago. And he's coming through strongly in lane 5 to pull up alongside Jack Casson and James McFadden and Novoa. All 4 of them, I should say, together, 0.4 of a second advantage. Look at that split for McFadden and Smith on the breaststroke. But McFadden now has to try and hold on now. But Novoa is looking pretty good in lane number 2, the Spanish swimmer. There's 4 swimmers all in a row, and it looks like the Spanish swimmer might just take this one. in line number 2. It's going to be very, very close indeed. 3 swimmers coming in the wall together. And it is Smith, I think, who takes it in at 2:06.39. 4 100s ahead of Novoa. Casson in 3rd and McFadden in 4th in 2:07. Wow. 2:07 for McFadden. Not sure that's going to be enough to put him through to that top 8. Well, we'll see. 3 on 2:06 range, and there's the lineup for the penultimate heat of this morning's action. Adam Graham goes in at line number 1 for Millfield. Tony Joe, Tret Oliver for Stirling in 2. Ben Harrison for Loughborough University in 3. Andreas Vaseos from Greece in at line number 4. Thomas Janssen from Netherlands in 5. In 6 is Joe Litchfield from Loughborough University. Yannick Weiland from Netherlands in 7. And Arbadel Gonzalez Alvarez from Spain in line number 8. Again, pretty good lineup here. Thomas Janssen, Netherlands swimmer, first out ahead of Joe Litchfield. Joe Litchfield showed a little bit earlier. So showing a little bit of form, Joe Litchfield. Thomas Janssen still leads them through. Vaseos now coming back into contention. There's Vaseos, Olympian for Greece. He represented them in the World Championships as well. He was a European champion for Greece back in 2016 in this event, so he's got some history. The Loughborough man in line number 4. Thomas Janssen still leads them though as they go into that final turn. Janssen and Vaseos, pretty much of a muchness on the breaststroke, but it's taken them away from the rest of the field. Very good turn there for Thomas Janssen. Great turn there for Janssen. Netherlands champion. Vaseos now playing catch up. Keep an eye on the clock. We saw 3 swimmers on 2:06 in that previous heat, 1 on 2:07. This one's going to be inside that, I think. Yeah, 2:02.99 for Janssen, just outside his entry time there. Vaseos 2:04.41. And in 3rd place was Litchfield 2:05, just ahead of Harrison. So they're all faster than that previous heat, as is Tony Joe Tret Oliver in 2:06.09. Well, top 8 so far in the 2:06s. Great quality here. So everyone now in that first heat under threat, but here's the final heat of this morning's action here from the Edinburgh International. Day 1, session 1. Pierce Greening, Stirling University, goes in line number 1. Luke Ibbison, Loughborough University, in line 2. A trio of Stirling University swimmers side by side: Angus Allison, Duncan Scott and Evan Jones. They go in 3, 4 and 5. Marcus Martin Bugelo from Spain in 6. Lars Verhala from PSV Eindhoven in 7. Jacob Whibley from Repton in lane number 8. Now Duncan Scott, Olympic Games silver medalist in this event, British champion, Commonwealth champion, the reigning champion in this one as well, taking this title last year. And he is the meet record holder in 159.35. So Duncan Scott, very, very dominant in this event. I'm sure he's going to make his way into the final. We'll have more of a chance to talk about him in the final when we come back tonight. But Duncan Scott, you know, it's difficult to tell if he's got a weakness in his 200 metres individual medley. Really, really strong all-rounder. Breaststroke, excellent. We saw him, he took 2 medals at the Commonwealth Games in the individual medley events. Gold medal in this one, bronze medal in the 400 individual medley. So a great all-rounder. Again, 6 Olympic Games medals for Duncan Scott. Incredible record. It's going to be pushing him into the list of all-time great British Olympians. Just a superb athlete of our time, Duncan Scott. Luke Ibbison going well in lane number 2. Angus Allison trying to come back into top 2 positions in lane 3. Evan Jones going well in lane 5. So these 4 looking like they are clear of the field. Duncan Scott looking pretty relaxed here. They can't get too relaxed with that 2:06 as the cut-off point, but Duncan Scott safely in 2:04, as will Ibbison and Allison. I think, well, maybe not Allison. High 2:05s. Yeah, 2:05 should make it, I think. 2:05 should make it okay, as was Evan Jones, 2:06 as well, low 2:06s. But Duncan Scott was safely into the final, looked pretty comfortable indeed. And he is just behind Thomas Janssen there, Vazios in 3rd place, and Evan Jones does make it with a 2:06.08, only just 1/100th of a second ahead of Tony Joe Trett Oliver, who will go into the next 8, of course, provisional finalists. This is as the last results scroll through. Again, promises to be another great final. That's the 2nd final that Duncan Scott has qualified for. We'll see him in the 200 metres individual medley, all being well, later on, and also in the 200 freestyle. So that is the end of the action for this morning. What a good session it has been. We have seen some top swimmers taken to the pool. Duncan Scott we've just seen. Tom Dean, his great rival at the 200 freestyle. He will be back. They will be going head-to-head in that 200 freestyle final as well. We've seen Adam Peaty. We've seen James Wilby, James Guy, Kylie Mass. The stars keep coming and coming. They've all made it into their individual finals tonight. So the final session is shaping up to be an absolute cracker. But before that, we do have the afternoon session, and that begins at 12:25. It'll be the same events as we've seen this morning for some of the swimmers with the lower qualification time. So the up-and-coming athletes will be taking to the stage this afternoon. Make sure you tune in at 12:25. It's been a great first session. I've been Paul Noble bringing you the action this morning. I will be back for the final session tonight, and we will be back at 12:25 for the next session. So around about an hour or so, just over an hour, so time to get some lunch, have a cup of coffee or something, and settle back for 12:25 next session. See you then.